You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast, delivering the knowledge in all things fitness business. We help gym owners win. Here are your hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Exton.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, and in studio today, joined, my co-host is here. His name is Randy, the demagogue of Destiny Angston.
That's actually on my birth certificate. How did you know?
It is the pick of destiny.
Oh.
Who likes Tenacious D?
If you don't, you can't sit with us.
Dude, Tenacious D is so cool, so funny.
They're great. I mean, how do you not appreciate it?
They're so unique because he's an actor, a big-time actor.
Jack Black's done well for himself.
And he's great. He's a great performer, music performer.
He is. He's an artist across the realm, across the board.
Artiste,
yeah.
So you guys, here's a little, if you guys are bored, go to Netflix or wherever your Tenacious D is sold and go watch Tenacious D series. Yeah. It was an HBO series is what it was. And it's just like this comedy thing.
They did the movie too. There's a Pick of Destiny, and I think there's a sequel coming out.
I hope so. I know they're coming to town, and we're going. We're going to that. Okay, here we are. We are in studio today, and we're going to talk about some software.
Yeah. The softwares that we use, the processes. I guess it's not all of the softwares we use, but we definitely want to touch on the softwares available for you in your marketing realm.
Yeah, we use all of these.
We have one, like as far as a category for sure, but
gotcha.
Yeah, we'll give some examples, and obviously we're not using.
Okay, so in the broad scheme of things, there's so many options for software out there, and I feel like in the fitness market that there's even more entering to try to win the business of the gym owner fitness business. And I don't blame them because it's a great market, and you know there's so many solutions out there, and there's so many that they don't cut the mustard, if you will. They don't do a great job.
Yeah.
And if you're a software engineer, a software developer out there, if you can put all of this into one, you make a gold mine. The problem is most software they're really good at one thing. They're great at one thing. That's their backbone. And then they try to bolt on these other styles of software into it, and they just don't do a good enough job.
Yeah, they drop the ball in the other areas.
And I understand because it's very expensive to develop software. So by default, you just have to have certain softwares to do certain things. And unfortunately, it starts to be, we call this a technology stack. What's your tech stack for a particular business? And it keeps growing.
Yeah.
It keeps growing. It can get really confusing, especially if you're not really tech savvy. In this episode, we're going to break down the options, the ones we use, but the options and what they do, and which softwares you guys can look at. And don't worry about writing these down. We're going to put all of the links in the show notes in this episode here on YouTube, as well as Apple iTunes. Yep. In our show notes. So if you're interested in learning more about these particular software, we're going to put our affiliate link, full transparency, because we do use these software and we believe in them. And then, obviously the affiliate link that would go in there. So let's get to it. All right, let's just talk about the landing page software. So what is a landing page software, and what do landing pages do?
Awesome. So a landing page, as opposed to a website, right, is designed for a specific purpose, whether it's funneling somebody to opt in, meaning leave their name, phone number, and email address, or convert somebody into a sale. I mean, the premise behind the objective you're trying to do, there's a number of different options, but ultimately it's a single purpose, software or funnel, if you may. There's not a lot of option. We're not trying to confuse people or give them different places to go. It's once they reach that funnel landing page has a focus, a premise behind what the prospect is doing there.
Yeah, great point. So what Randy's trying to say, you're not going to see a whole lot of navigations and ways to click out of it. It's focused on the particular offer or the particular call to action that you want that prospect to take. And there's a few out there. We use one called ClickFunnels. There's several, and I don't know them all, but let's just throw a couple out there.
Lead Pages is probably one of the
closest competitors.
Yep.
Unbounce. There's a few, and there's even more coming out, which is fine. Kartra is another. We use ClickFunnels. We'll speak to ClickFunnels. Why we like ClickFunnels? Well, I think the ease of creating landing pages very quickly. They define landing pages as funnels. That's why it's called ClickFunnels. But it's technically a landing page. But in essence, it is a funnel. You're funneling somebody through a process, and they have several styles of funnels, which is cool. So one of the coolest features is that we can build a funnel for you in our platform, and then with one click, you can upload it to your system. It's already designed and built for you. That's one of the coolest
funnels.
features.
Yep, that was ClickFunnels, kind of one of their biggest, perks. That was one of the reasons that we decided to continue with there.
Yep. So you can duplicate funnels. You can edit them very quickly. It's a drag and drop builder. There's tons of cool stuff you can do. You can bolt things into it, and so that's ClickFunnels. That's a landing page software. So let's talk about the next category of software that you should have. I think you should have a CRM/autoresponder. So we use one called Infusionsoft that's got a very robust toolkit of things that it can do. And here's a great example of what I was just speaking about. Infusionsoft tries to compete with ClickFunnels by having landing page functionality, but they just don't cut the mustard.
Sure. Yeah, it's
and
not
vice
their wheelhouse.
versa. ClickFunnels tries to have an autoresponder built into their platform, but it just doesn't do the same things that Infusionsoft can do. Logic-based, tagging sequences, and it's just a bunch of, so could you use both of them to do the job? Yeah, individually.
Either of them, individually, yep.
Yep, so you can use Infusionsoft, utilize their landing page software, and run that way. Or you can use ClickFunnels and use their autoresponder and run that way. But for us, they didn't do enough on their own, so we use them both. Okay, so and they integrate with each other. So there's others out there that a lot of clients are using. One of them being Active Campaign. I don't have a lot of
I've
experience
dabbled
in
a
it.
little bit. I've worked with a couple of our private clients and stuff. I've had my hands in Active Campaign. I like it from what we've seen because it still sits in the logic-based side of things. It's not just a broadcast platform where you're just sending out email broadcasts. I mean, you can set up logical flows, right? When a client does this, then this happens. If this is the case, then the client will see this. Like that logic and that automation will take a lot of work off of your plate and your team's plate. CRM software, guys, I'm on the phone every single day with different gyms going through their businesses. You're shocked. You would be shocked at how many of them do not have a CRM in play.
Okay, so let's define CRM as customer relationship management software, and we're going to define autoresponder as an email autoresponder, meaning if a lead comes into your CRM, it automatically can go into a campaign and automatically send that person an email. That's the functionality that we're talking about.
Based on, and again, back to the logic, based on an action they took, they're going to get a specific email that corresponds with that action. If they purchase something, right, maybe it's a confirmation email. If they've opted in, maybe you're delivering that deliverable via email. But it's logic-based, not just you as the user going in and sending that broadcast.
Right. Yep, so it's doing an automation. Now, I would call myself a high-level Infusionsoft user, and there is a learning curve with the software. However, over the last several months, I've actually been going out to locations and installing Infusionsoft and building out specific logic campaigns and flows on site with gyms. In fact, I'm going to 2 more locations this summer. And it's a lot of fun for me because it's a system. I'm solving a big problem. It's a strategy around the whole thing. So if you're interested in getting Infusionsoft into your facility, let's have a chat because this is one of the things I really, really enjoy. And a lot of people are scared by the robustness of the Infusionsoft. No worries, I can get you set up and dialed in on this. Like come out to your facility. Again, one of those things I really enjoy. So Infusionsoft, and we'll as we go through this, I'm going to talk to you about some more things Infusionsoft can do that will make your life really, really easy. Okay, next, a text messaging platform, SMS. So we here one thing I would tell you is email is email and text is text. Again, should Infusionsoft have a text message platform built into it? You're damn right it should.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't. And if you're Infusionsoft, and you're listening to this,
they could probably hear us. They're down the street.
They're right down the street. You need to build this functionality into your software platform. That's very surprised you haven't yet, but there's got to be a reason. There's some reason why they're not doing it. So we look to outside software. We've just struck a deal with Scipio as of Monday, which is a couple days ago, and we are now a Scipio partner. We have what they call an agency account, and we manage campaigns. We sell we sell Scipio. They're making some massive changes over there, all for the better. They're actually taking away individual accounts. You can only get them through us and agencies, and we're going to be able to really help gyms do amazing things with autoresponder-based text platforms, and that's what Scipio is. It's not just a text outbound blast. It's a logic-based, campaign-based software that you can, on timing, you can schedule things out, and if somebody responds, you can push them into another campaign and all kinds of cool stuff. That's brand new as of this week.
Yeah, and the awesome part there is the campaigns and the strategy that we can develop, we're going to be able to help pass on to you guys by partnering with us, because you're not necessarily going to have the same, apples to apples experience if you look to other agencies that aren't necessarily in the fitness realm or offering the same things.
Yep.
This is a unique thing that we've been able to partner with them on to provide solutions for fitness businesses as part of our offering with Scipio.
Right, exactly. And so what we've done is we've developed a turnkey package of text campaigns that we can upload right into your account. You sign up with us, where there's an onboarding. You get the best strategies that we've put into place that have already been proven to work at multiple locations. We're gonna be able to just drop that right in your campaign, help you set it all up, and boom, you're off to the races. So now, when you used to buy Scipio, you would just have a blank sheet. You have to come up with everything yourself. Now you come through ProFit, you get Scipio as part of our offerings, and we're going to be able to hand you off all of the best performing campaigns. So that's pretty cool.
Big time.
Big time. Okay, another very underutilized piece of software that we like is called Deadline Funnel. Now, by the name of ClickFunnels and Deadline Funnel, you would think, oh, this is another landing page software. Absolutely not another landing page software. What it is a timer software, and yes, ClickFunnels has timers in their software built in. This Deadline Funnel does so many other cool things which we love. Number one is it's called something called an Evergreen timer. So how do you have the same offer available all year round and people can get it at any time but make it urgent? Well, we looked into this and we said, well, we don't want to have like these moving deadlines and just going in and changing the timer every week. So we found a software that uses IP addresses to track the users and allows us to have a evergreen timer. So every individual person that hits that page has their own individual timer. So for instance, if I have a 5-day deadline on an evergreen, and then the price is going to go up, let's just say it starts at 89, it goes up to 149, we can create what's something called an evergreen timer that's, say, 5 days long. So you have 5 days to react to this offer, or else the price will go up. So what this software does, it says anybody that sees this page today has 5 days from today. But if somebody sees this tomorrow, they have 5 days from tomorrow. And it tracks that person's IP address. So if they come back in 3 days, they only have 2 days left. But if that other guy comes back in 3 days, they have 3 days left. So it's just like, it's beautiful, but underutilized.
Yeah, it's unique to the user, which is awesome. And a big benefit there is that coding that you're using can carry across multiple platforms. So when you drop that piece of software in a landing page, every time they revisit, right, it's unique to that user. That timer is accurate. When you put that in an email, in an autoresponder or a nurture, when that client opens up that email, that timer that they're receiving, it doesn't just start again at 5 days. It's going to give them the accurate amount of time that user has left, because it's going back and it's locking their IP address into the coding of Deadline Funnels, and it's unique to that client experience.
So so when the timer runs out, what's very cool is that then it auto redirects to then a higher price point.
Yeah, or I mean, really, you could put any other redirect. So in our situation, we redirect it to a higher price point, a different sales page at the full value, full price. But you could do it for an actual expiration, or different things. Maybe you do multiple events, and after that event happens, you go to the next landing page for the next event. I mean, there's multiple uses, but it's underutilized. So, yeah.
And what you mentioned is you can actually put this timer in the emails, so you can embed the code in the emails. So yes, that person's opening an email and it shows, let's just say, a day left. But if they come back the next day, it will then turn that timer into an expiration symbol. And so now that offer's expired. We've used this in multiple campaigns. We used it for the GPS birthday campaign. We've used it for a ton of different things. And it's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, very cool. Like Tim said, it's kind of underutilized. I mean, we probably could use it in a lot more of our stuff as well, but definitely check that one out.
But that one nobody really knows about.
Yeah, it's kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, okay, another one, scheduling software. You need, as much as we use MindBody, Zen Planner, and all these types of things, you need a easier way for somebody to book an appointment. It's just those ones are too bulky, right? So we use Calendly. There's several. Schedule Once, Acuity. It depends on your user experience that you're looking for. For us, Calendly was the cleanest. It's the easiest. It ties to Google Calendar. Google Calendar ties to MindBody, so everything's kind of accurate, and it's only showing appointment times that you're available.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, right? It's not just your business's available hours and somebody can go in there. This is going to cross-reference your schedule. So if let's say Tim goes into his Google Calendar and he sets up, maybe he's got an in-house meeting for half the day or something. When he blocks that off on his schedule, it's going to be real time on Calendly, so people aren't going to go to his schedule and be able to book times during that. It retros, so it's great.
Great point.
Very
user friendly, very mobile responsive. It's just a clean scheduling option. And if you're not giving people the option to book themselves online, you're really missing the boat, because think about, like, I'm ready to do something and I don't have a way to do that. You're going to probably lose me. Time will go on, and I won't ever book an appointment.
And strike when their iron's hot, right? If somebody's opting in, or somebody's leaving their information, or they're coming to you, raising their hand in some way, make it easier for them to continue that process. The faster that they can get in and self-schedule or get in front of you, the more likely, one, they're going to show up. Two, they're still excited about the offer that you presented to them. So the willingness and the desire, and then the friction around a sale, it's all minimized. So allow that client to do that as fast as possible. We build them into almost every single confirmation page that we can.
Yeah, just think about the correspondence that has to go back and forth for people to figure out what times they're both open. If you just show them your Calendly appointment, they look on their schedule and they see your real-time openings, boom, they're going to book a time that works for them. We use it for all of our coaching calls. We use it for all of our onboarding calls, our breakthrough calls, discovery calls. So if you go to pfmarketingsolutions.com/call, it's going to show you the Calendly for you, Randy, and you can book a call with Randy. So if you guys are interested in learning more about these softwares, and you need help on your marketing strategy, Infusionsoft, whatever it is, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call will get you to our Calendly account, which then looks at Randy's schedule and only displays the ones that are open. So there you go.
Otherwise, I'm going to be taking calls while we're doing this stuff, and that doesn't work very well.
Is your phone ringing?
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. All right, so that's your scheduling software. Again, Calendly is the one we like. Acuity is another one. Schedule Once. There's several. Okay. Another one that's not used very much is OctaChat. Now, OctaChat is a live online chat feature that has a real live person attached on the other end, not a bot, not going to you. It's manned by a team of real life people that understand your business. They go back and forth with you during the setup on the offer of your page, of your website, or whatever you offer, so that it has frequently asked questions and they know what to say. Their ultimate goal depends. For some would be to continue the process and get them to go ahead and purchase whatever it is that's on the landing page or the website. Others are to book a call, and then finally, obviously, to collect lead information. So if you've got somebody, and you've been on websites where you just have a question that just really isn't answered here.
Well, how about a phone number? We were just on a website trying to get a hold of somebody in the fitness business, There's no phone number listed on their entire website.
Yep. Yeah, and I can't understand that unless they're just such a small operation that they don't have a phone.
I can't imagine that.
Well, anyways, yeah, have your phone number on your website. Just a little pro tip right there. You know, put it in the footer. I mean, that's the easiest place where normally people, or the top right.
I went through the other day. I both their Facebook and their website, they didn't have the address. I didn't know what state they were in. I didn't know if they were domestic, as far as, you know, even in the U.S. I had to search in order to find the location that this business was even operating out of.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Double pro tip.
Yeah.
Put your contact information in full and add a map too. Like put directions on there, put your address, your phone number, your email address.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, guys, if somebody is looking for that information, they're trying to get to you. Mm-hmm. That is that's the whole entire premise behind marketing is more bodies. Let those bodies come to you if they're trying to come to you. Don't make it difficult.
Reduce the friction.
Reduce the friction. We talk about it all the time.
Okay, so OctaChat is not the only one, but we like OctaChat because, again, it has real-life people, and they send you the transcripts of every single conversation, and they bill you on the what's called a qualified conversation. So a qualified conversation, don't take my word for this, but talk to them. It's 3 transactions. They ask a question, OctaChat answers. That's 1. They ask another question, OctaChat answers. That's 2. One more time, that's 3. That now you get billed.
It's a qualified conversation.
Qualified conversation.
To touch on that, one thing that I loved about, or I still love, but that's really stood out about OctaChat as opposed to bots and other options out there. One, the transcripts, right? If a question's asked that's not within the wheelhouse of the Q&A or the frequently asked questions that you've set up with OctaChat, their job then shifts to capturing that lead information, right? Typically those chat
leads
icons or the actual software lives in a piece of what your landing page software, your website that's ungated. So they're speaking to a lead that we don't have their information, or they're speaking to a prospect that we don't have their lead information yet. And then they change the conversation to capture that information, deliver it to you as the expert to go answer intelligently. The second piece of information is in a situation where there's a sale taking place. After they've asked that question, after they've answered the question and made the client comfortable, they then turn the conversation to remind the client that it's typically a limited time offer. So they start to transition towards the sale. Now they're not going to go sell for you, but urgency and scarcity. They're going to remind this person to take action now because this offer might not be there later.
Great points. You can't really do that with a bot.
You can't. I mean, not yet.
Not to that level.
Depth yet. Sure.
So OctaChat, we'll put the link again in the show notes, so you have that. Again, you can put that on any website you want. You know, and each offer is going to be different. So again, there's this onboarding process they take place, but then they're always there. Anytime somebody's on the page, they'll pop up. Hey, do you have any live? And they'll answer it live in real time.
Yeah, and then we get an email. We get an email anytime that chat takes place.
Yep.
We get an email. We get to know exactly how that transaction or that transcript goes, and we're able to reach out to a client if we need to, depending on how that conversation ended off.
Perfect. Okay, one of the final pieces here is traffic sources. You've got the landing page, you got the CRM, the autoresponder setup, you got the Scipio campaigns, everything's ready to go. You need to drive traffic into the landing page. To do that, obviously there's several sources. On a very basic level, your email list could be technically a source of traffic. You send out an email campaign, you add the link to the email, you drive people to your landing page. Maybe it's ClickFunnels, maybe it's lead pages, whatever it is. You need a traffic source. Obviously, Facebook and Instagram are traffic sources.
YouTube, Google.
Think
of a traffic source as anywhere people are, like where people are spending their time. Right now, Facebook is crushing. Instagram is probably the leading, rushing. Snapchat ads became a thing for a while. It's kind of fizzled a little bit, but any place people are spending their time, offline, newspaper, TV, radio, these are all still traffic sources. Print, anywhere that you can position an offer in front of a group of people where they're congregating becomes a traffic source.
So you need a traffic source. So obviously we'd probably shift towards digital on most of what we do. The digital world allows you to really target really specifically, and that's the gold of what it is. So you can put your offer in front of the right people and speak to them, to them. We talked about this in the Avatar podcast episode. So you need traffic sources. A couple more here. We use MindBody. So having an in-house membership software platform that manages your memberships, it has schedules for your trainers, maybe does payroll, it does a point of sale if you have smoothie bars or things like that. MindBody is the one we like. Again, Zen Planner, Wodify, Club OS, Club Ready.
Yeah,
I mean, again, like we said in the beginning of the episode, there's a lot of players in the software game, and you're going to attach to one and probably like that, right? So you got ASF and ABC, the other two big ones. So it's up to you. We're just telling you what we use. We don't really care what you use unless you're working with us. We'll probably shift you towards some of these, but there's a lot out there. Again, MindBody. We like MindBody right now a lot because Scipio, and this is probably a little undercover. We're working on some integrations together that's going to be allowed to trigger Scipio automation from MindBody and Zen Planner and Club OS and a lot of these Club Ready, that we can do some really friggin' cool stuff with Scipio and text message platforms and in automation.
Yeah, guys, just think about that from like a 40,000 foot view. Like the ability to send an automated message via text message based on something that's happened in your client's account, right, in your studio. Is it a birthday? Is it, hey, they haven't been in a while? Like any of these automation things, like we're going to be able to help create campaigns based on what the user is doing within your club. That's going to be huge.
And guess what, guys? I don't know if you know this or not. I own and operate a fitness facility, so I kind of know a few things about what happens at the gym level, where you lose clients, where you're trying to get them back. Things. Okay, so the fact that we've got the marketing brain and the business operations brain, that we can put these two together, and the fact that they're all going to talk to each other in native, beautiful thing. Big things ahead, guys. I'm really excited about that. All right, one last sneaky one is a Chrome extension. What's that?
Halfway down.
Oh.
We have to get back to that one because that one kind of fills the gap. It makes sense.
Oops.
But
Randy,
continue with the one you were on. And then
so if Chrome extension, okay, so within Facebook, you've got something called a pixel. And what the pixel does is it tracks visitors and tracks conversions and allows you to bring data back into the ads managers. You can look at data accurately. It also allows Facebook's algorithm to learn about the people that are most interested in your offer. So if you get, custom conversions based on, let's just say they're a lead. Okay, so all these people in this list, there's 500 people that opted in for this. This is a lead. This is what this type of person looks like. Having a Facebook pixel allows Facebook, and then again, YouTube remarketing. There's other pixels out there that, it allows the Facebook algorithm to learn. It's a learning curve. So again, it's like
it's a piece of code essentially.
AI.
I mean, it's like an AI, right? It does anywhere somebody from, if you have a Facebook account and you visit somewhere where a Facebook pixel lives, that's recorded to Facebook. So if you, the simplest way that we can kind of make it like real time or like something you've experienced with a Facebook pixel is retargeting. When you visit, let's just say Amazon for the sake of the conversation, you go to Amazon and you look at a certain item, and then you leave Amazon, you go shopping, or you just go browsing on the web. All of those ads, that are popping up everywhere, that's because you're being retargeted based on you visiting Amazon and looking at that product. They've captured their pixel, and it's now on those other websites following you around.
Yep, perfect example. Now, the Chrome extension that allows you to see if your Facebook pixel is installed correctly is something called Facebook Pixel Helper. We've used it since day one. Gives you a little like icon in the top right corner of your browser, and it tells you right there when you click on it if it's firing, what is firing. Is it a lead conversion or a purchase conversion or registration conversion?
Event types are
event types. So not having that, you don't really ever know if it's really set up right. So that's been a huge help for us. Facebook Pixel Helper, and yes, the last but not least, the glue that holds all of this stuff together. When two software need to speak to each other and there's not what's called a native integration, meaning the softwares are built to speak to each other natively, there's a software or a third-party application
yes.
called Zapier. Okay, what Zapier does, they're a team of developers that are super nerdy, and they live in this cave, and they code all day, and basically they connect two softwares together so that the data can travel from one software into the other, so you're not manually typing things, and you can trigger things based on the way you set up what they call the Zap. Zapier's, without Zapier, none of this really works.
A lot less of them.
Yeah.
You know, native integration. So software speak different languages, and Zapier is kind of like a translator, if you can put it that way. Right? It's the easiest way of kind of understanding what it does, right? Just for the sake of conversation. Infusionsoft to ClickFunnels, right? Somebody opts in on a landing page in ClickFunnels. Let's say those two didn't natively speak to each other. We tie in Zapier, fire off the lead information to Zapier. Zapier fires that lead information to Infusionsoft, and so now those two can communicate. Pretty easy to understand when it's an application. Like when you put it to use, it's a no-brainer. You're like, okay, cool. And the best part is Zapier's got hundreds of software platforms that they can integrate. So even beyond a lot of the stuff that we use it for, I mean, it's endless.
Yeah, way beyond. I mean, there's going to be several that aren't in there yet, but anybody who's anybody in the software game wants to create a Zapier integration, because then it opens up the doors to all the other customers of all the other software, because now they can integrate and talk to each other. And before Zapier, before like some of these were on here, we would sometimes have to do double entry and double manual entry, and it's just a pain in the butt. So I talked to a gym owner the other day. He didn't know about Zapier. We talked about the fact that he had, I don't know what the other software platform was, but he had ClickFunnels. He's like, man, I'm having to go in every day and type out the lead information into the other one. I'm like, whoa, buddy, they could do this in automation. So he was blown. His socks were blown off.
What was it?
He looked like Atom Bomb. his head blew off, and he was super excited. But yeah, Zapier is such a great tool. Now here's the scoop, guys. There's a lot of tech here on this piece of paper and what we just spoke about. You don't have to know how to use all of it. I think there are some things that you absolutely should know as a gym owner, as a trainer, to make your life easier. There's Google, there's YouTube, there's all these things that you can learn. In fact, from square one, when we were introduced to any of these softwares in the beginning, we had to learn them ourselves. Yeah, we learned each of them ourselves. Mm-hmm. We learned them ourselves, so it can be done. Don't be afraid to, get your feet wet and dive into some of these things and make the purchase. I will tell you this. Whenever I look at a new software,
I'm glad you bring this up.
Whenever I look at it, and I look at the cost, and I look at the time it would save me, and can I get something better in my life? Will it pay for itself? Is there a return on investment on either time or higher conversion or retention? And I look at it, and most of the time it takes a half of a client to one client to pay for the entire year, and my time is saved and nothing gets missed. It's a no-brainer for me to dive in to make the investment.
Yeah.
I call it an investment, not an expense, because that's what software to me is. We talked about this in another episode. Gym owners and gym fitness professionals will be happy to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a piece of equipment, on a certification, but then they look as an investment. They think of that as an investment into their business, whereas they look at a piece of software as an expense.
Correct.
And it just doesn't comprehend for me, because I look at every single software, and there's tons of them, and I look at the use of it and how I would use it in the business, and I decide, well, heck, I only need to sell one more person and it pays for the year, and I know I'm gonna sell 20 this month because of that, whatever it is. So look at it that way, and don't be afraid to dive into some of these, because it will make your life easier if you end up learning it 100%.
And the more you know your numbers, the more you can understand that this is an investment and not an expense. To parlay that, all right, you guys are gym owners. We assume that the majority of you listening are gym owners. With the gym owners I talk to consistently, guys, you don't value your own time. You're willing to do the work thinking that you're saving money in the long run, but what you're doing is you're spending the most valuable time in your business's organization on things that are minuscule tasks. Start to offload some of this to automation. Start to understand the process that we just started to bring forth. Utilize the stuff that's in front of you to save your time. When you can turn around and you can spend your time in other income-producing activities in your business, and the automation is doing this, you're now exponentially growing the profitability of your business. It's not just, trading your time for the end result. The automation is your key to getting, 1, a lot of the work off of your plate, 2, additional opportunity for more income, and then 3, when you want to step into that true business owner role, this is going to carry a lot of those hats, or a lot of the work.
Absolutely.
Can wear a lot of the hats.
So picture this. If this could ever happen in your life, like somebody clicks on an ad, they put their information in, they schedule themselves, and they show up without you ever having to pick up the phone, write an email, or track somebody down, and it just happens in real time. Wouldn't that be nice?
You guys want to learn how to make money while you sleep?
Well, wouldn't that be nice? Well, yeah, we do that every single day with clients, and that's what we're doing as a service, flying out, setting these processes up so that, 1, people do this stuff themselves, so that everybody comes in and they show up and they're on the call, and they show up in your gym, that you're making sales on not on autopilot. You can, but on autopilot, where people are coming in, and you're just closing deals, and you're not having to worry about tracking every single lead down. They didn't answer the phone. I left a voicemail. So
brings up one more piece of software we didn't mention.
Oh, go ahead.
Merchant processor.
Yeah, you need a merchant
processor. So let's say you are building a sales funnel, and the objective is maybe you're selling a trial. You're $89 for 2 weeks or 14 days. And you want the final product of that process to be a paid trial, so that client's walking in with some skin in the game. In order to complete that transaction, you need a piece of software tied to typically your landing page software, where that transaction can actually be processed. Stripe is probably the leading online.
Yeah, very simple to use.
Simple, user-friendly, real easy integration, like one-click integration. It plugs right into the ones that we use, ClickFunnels for sure. But there's a million. Infusionsoft offers their own. Depending on the CRM you use, you probably have something available to you. You might be able to integrate and tie those together too. But that's one of the things that we. Yeah.
In order to take the money online through credit card, you need a merchant processor.
And again, it's not always the need, right? We talk about this all the time, like the process and what are you trying to accomplish with your marketing. If you're just trying to gather leads, that's not necessarily a piece of the pie that you need, right? But the work to get that person into the studio to complete a transaction is now on your guys' plate, as opposed to automation or the sales funnel.
Right. So we'll put all these links in the show notes. If you're interested in taking a look at these, we'll put them in there. You can kind of click around and check them out, see what they all do. We gave you a nice overview. The last episode we talked about marketing metrics. This episode we just talked about all these cool software. Getting a little nerdy, a little techie for the show, but that's okay, because this is ingrained into our businesses. And you should know about this stuff.
Yeah, quite. I mean, this is the ease of taking work and helping you guys eliminate the stress, wearing so many hats. I mean, we talk with gym owners every single day in the 40, 60, 80, hour weeks. A lot of this stuff can help eliminate just the tasks, the day-to-day, literally firing off emails, responding to people, the simple things that we spend hours doing. This will do a lot of that for you.
Yep. So check them out, guys. Until next time, keep changing lives. We'll see you. Bye.